Alright, so let's talk through a little bit of chapter 14 stuff. First, a couple basic things. So I'm on page 422 in the book here. First, a couple basic things. Let's look at number 1 and number 5. These are return questions that really tick me off when people do them wrong, as you could tell from my tone during the presentation. So, return on stock. Joel purchased 100 shares of stock for $20 per share. Okay, so what was his buy-in? His buy-in value, if you will. T minus 1 from our slides. He had 100 shares and he bought them $20 a share equals $2,000. Okay. Then during the year he received dividend checks amounting to $150. And he recently sold the stock for $32 a share. What was his return? So when he sold it, he made $32 a share. It's $3,200. Okay. So you got the stuff here to do your returns. Remember, your return is your new price minus your initial price, your buy-in, plus any dividends or coupons made, and then standardized or divided by the old price. And if you want to multiply by 100%, you can. So this would be 3,200 minus 2,000 plus 150 over 2,000, and you'll get a decimal, a proportion, if you do it this way. And what would we get? We would get 3,200 minus 2,000 plus 150. That's all the numerator. Remember your order of operations. You can't do 3,200 minus 2,000 divided by 2,000. But you got to be very careful and you got to do your numerator first. That's your numerator. Now divide by the denominator, 2,000, and you get 0.675. So your return is 0.675, or if you multiply by 100%, it's 67.5%. That's really awesome. If you look on the solutions, instead of multiplying everything by 100 and doing 100 shares, it kind of did this in a per share basis in the solution. You get the same final answer, and that's fine, but I think they actually kind of got a little sloppy there, the way they put that together. All right, number 5. So that was number 1. Number 5 says Emma bought a stock a year ago for $53 a share, received no dividends, and sold the stock for $38 a share. That sounds bad to me. What was her return? So she bought for 53, she sold for 38. Nah, that doesn't sound too hot. It happens all the time though. So she bought at 53, she sold at 38. She's obviously going to take a loss, so that's 38 minus 53 over 53, obviously a loss. So again, be careful. Don't do something dumb like, 38 minus 53 divided by 53, right? Because your calculator does everything with order of operations. So if you put this in, the calculator is going to do 53 divided by 53 and do 38 minus 1 and get 37. Yeah, don't do that. You want 38 minus 53 divided by 53, and you get negative 0.283. Or negative 28.3%. Okay. So that's number 1 and number 5. Let's try something with some time value money in it so that we remember it, because your financial calculator, you're going to have to break that out a couple times in the exam. Number 7. Okay. Dawn decides to invest $2,000 each year in stock at the end of the next 5 years. Sounds like an annuity to me. She believes she can earn a 9% return over that period. How much will Dawn's investment be worth at the end of 5 years? All right, so sounds to me like an ordinary annuity, which is really easy to do. That means at the end of each of 5 years, she's going to set aside $2,000. She's going to make 9% on this. And what's her final value at the end? All right. Well, n is 9, or excuse me, n is 5, sorry. I is 9. No present value in this problem. She's setting aside $2,000 a year. $11,969.42. Now, that sounds, yeah. If you use the tables from the book, you'll see 11,970. We can do even a little more accurate because we use the calculator, which is what I always ask you to use on your exam. Now, I was just thinking, I don't mean to be harsh on those of you who don't use this calculator. I know we said early in the class that we can use a financial calculator like this, the BA2 Plus. You get the same answer with this, but remember, it's been a while. Hit your cancel key, cancel, and then every time you do a problem, you want to hit the second key and the clear TVM above it there in yellow. That clears the time value of money in your calculator, and now you can plug these items in one at a time. You put the numbers in first, followed by classifying them. So 5 years, 9% interest rate, a $2,000 negative payment means that she'll have compute future value 11,969.42. Same thing. Okay. Let's try another one. So let's finish up with number 9. It says value of investment. Floyd wants to invest the $15,000 he received from his grandfather's estate. He wants to use the money to finance his education when he pursues his doctorate in 5 years. Don't do it, Floyd. Just kidding. What amount will he have in 5 years if he earns a 9% return? How about a 10% return? How about a 12% return? This will be kind of good because it will show how making 10% versus 9% or 12% versus 9% can make a big difference. Right? So this is number 9. And it says, right, $15,000, invest for 5 years, and then how much will he have? That's a pretty simple one, right? N is 5. Let's try the interest rate as 9% like it told us to do first. Let's start with a present value. This is not an annuity. This isn't a payment. This is just a one-time lump sum of $15,000. He's going to set that aside, so I'll put a negative sign on it. And then what does it grow to? What's the future value? Let's use this calculator again. What the heck? So I hit second. I hit cancel. And now I hit second. Time value of money to clear my work. Alright. Now he has, what was it, 5 years again, right? So 5, and let's try 9 as the interest rate. $15,000 that he's going to invest in there as a lump sum, so it's a PV this time. Compute future value, $23,079. So in this one it's $23,079. Right, so if we're back here in this calculator, this is still 5 and 9, but remember, now we have a PV. Okay. 23,079. What happens if he makes 10% instead? Remember, you're going to be compounding 5 years of an additional 1%. I guess I should put a negative sign on the 15,000, right, to be consistent with the other calculator. What happens if he makes 10% instead? 24,157. How about 12% instead? $26,435. I mean, you get the idea here, which is you make a better rate of return, you get a lot more real money at the end of this. Right? Well, that's the incentive to, when you're investing, keep an eye on your projected return, and also on things like commissions. that you pay to fees to brokers or to websites or whatever, because if you can make an extra 1% or save an extra 1% in fees that you don't owe, that can be sort of the same thing as making an extra 1% there. All right, fair enough? Let's call it a day on that one, and that's some practice. Do the rest of your financial planning problems as practice, and then try your homework and quiz for both chapters 13 and 14. 4 items due Sunday like always. See you next time.